Hello students, I am Vijaya Pai from Department of Chemistry. Hope you all are fine. Due to this pandemic, we are not able to take regular classes. Hence, I will sending you videos related to chemistry subject. Let's start with chapter Electrochemistry. There are two types of substances as far as conduction of electricity through them. These are called conductors and insulators. These are called conductors and insulators. Okay. So what do you mean conductors? Conductors are substances which allow the passage of electricity. Which allow the passage of electricity. Okay. Conductors are substances which allow the passage of electricity. So insulator means which do not allow the passage of electricity. Do not allow the electricity. So which allow the electricity are called conductors, which do not allow the electricity are called insulators. These conductors are further classified into two types. One is electronic conductor. Another one is electrolytic conductor. So conductors are classified into two types, electronic conductor and electrolytic conductors. In that electronic, what do you mean electronic conductors? These are substances which conduct electricity without undergoing any decomposition. Okay, without undergoing decomposition. Without undergoing decomposition, they conduct electricity, are called electronic. Then electrolytic means undergo decomposition. These undergo decomposition. Okay, so conductors classified into two types, electronic and electrolytic. Electronic means substances conduct electricity without undergoing decomposition. Electrolytic means these undergo decomposition when electricity is passed. So these electronic conductors are also called as electrolytes. Okay, electrolytic conductors are called as electrolytes. These electrolytes can be classified into two types. Electrolytes are classified into two types. First one, strong electrolytes. Another one, weak electrolytes. We know that what do you mean strong electrolyte? Strong electrolytes, substances like strong acids. Strong acids means, for example, H2SO4, HNO3, okay, HCl, and strong bases. Strong base means either NaOH, KOH or all. Okay, so strong acids and strong bases are completely ionized. These are completely ionized. Okay, and conducts electricity to a large extent. Strong acids and strong bases are completely ionized and conduct electricity to a large extent are called strong electrolytes. Then weak electrolytes means weak acids. Weak acids, which are those? Acetic acid. And weak base. Weak base means ammonium hydroxide. Weak base. Okay, these are not completely ionized. These are not completely ionized. Not ionized. Not completely ionized in solution. So they do not conduct electricity to a larger extent. Strong electrolytes are completely ionized and conduct electricity to a large extent. Weak electrolytes are not completely ionized and not conduct electricity to a large extent. Okay, these are two types of electrolytes. Next, we will discuss about Debye-Huckel theory of strong electrolytes. In 1923, Debye and Huckel put forward as a theory based on the assumption that strong electrolytes are completely dissociated into ions. That means, according to this theory, strong electrolytes exist as ions, which exist as ions in a solid state. Solid state, they must be completely ionized in solution. They are completely ionized in solution at all concentration. Electrolytes exist as ions in a solid state. They must be completely ionized in solution at all concentrations. So, the postulates of Debye-Huckel theory. Let us see. First one, the strong electrolytes which exist as ions even in solid state will be completely ionized in solution at all concentration. The degree of ionization of strong electrolyte is unity even at moderate concentration. That means even at solid state, strong electrolytes exist as ions. That means, for example, KCl. So, these are ionizers as K plus and Cl minus ions. So, degree of ionization alpha equal to total ionized molecule divided by total molecule. If I take 1 ml of KCl, then added 10 ml of water, then it ionizes as K plus and Cl. Okay, even if I am adding 50 ml of water, okay, yeah, if I am adding 50 ml of water, then also ionizes into K plus and Cl minus. Even in dilute or concentrated solution, the strong electrolytes are completely ionized. Okay, next point, the increase in equivalent conductance of strong electrolytes with the dilution is due to increase in the mobility of the ions than due to increase in degree of ionization. Strong electrolytes are completely ionized even in dilute or concentrated solutions. The main reason for increase in the equivalent conductance with dilution is due to the increase in the mobility of the ions than due to the increase in degree of ionization. Okay, next point. Each ion is surrounded by oppositively charged ions in a spherical manner, giving rise to an ionic atmosphere. Means, if we consider positive ion is a central atom, if central atom is a positive ion, then it is surrounded by a negative ions in a spherical manner. If positive ion is a central atom, then it is surrounded by a negative ions in a spherical manner. Or if negative ion is a central atom, then it is surrounded by positive ions in a spherical manner. These are called ionic atmosphere. These are called ionic atmosphere. Okay. The formation of ionic atmosphere depends on two factors. First factor, the Coulombic interaction. Coulombic interaction means positive and negative interaction or electrostatic interaction which tries to arrange the ions in an organized structure. Means the central ion which is surrounded by an ionic atmosphere of oppositive charge in an organized structure. The second factor is thermal collision between the ions and the solvent molecules which try to destroy the organized structures. That means when collision increases, the molecule will move far apart and that will be destroy the organized structure. Decrease in equivalent conductance with increase in concentration of electrolyte is due to decrease in mobility of the ions due to greater interionic effect. Interionic effect means attraction or effect between the positive and negative ions. As concentration increases, the ions will very near and attraction will be more. When dilution increases, the ions will be far apart. Then the interionic force will be less. Consider two cases. This is first case, this is second case. In first case, there are two K plus ions and two Cl minus ions. In second case, there are 4 K plus ions and 4 Cl minus ions. This is less concentrated compared to this one. So in this case, ions can move freely. So ions move freely means mobility is high when compared to the concentrated solutions. So in this case, there are 4 K plus and 4 Cl minus ions. So concentration is more, means mobility is less. The mobility is less or mobility decreases means interionic attraction will be increases. So in this case, interionic attraction is more.